And welcome everybody to the Tournament Kings Wild Rift Tournament. I'm Ravishing, the most ravishing man on the internet. Joined here to get by my side by Annie Farr. And we're ready to get into the game number one between Kismet and Crimson Slayers. What's good, baby?
Hello, Ravishing. It's good to be here. It's good to see basically the dawn of a new esport, the Wild Rift that's just taking the world by storm right now when it comes to mobile gaming. It's such a fun game to watch, such a fun game to cast, and we're about to get into action real soon. First of all, we'll have Kismet versus Crimson Slayers, and the action does not stop. We seem to be heading into Summoner's Rift, or better yet, the Wild Rift very soon. And for those of you who don't know, it's going to be
social media video app powered by an AI with the hottest game videos, voice chat, and team finder in all places, where creators and communities come together to watch, listen, and talk with each other in real time, bro. Find out about Wizard and all things and more with information about Wizard.
Minions have spawned.
more impressive mechanic when it comes to the Wild Rift compared to League PC. There are no control wards despite you whatsoever. So when Ezreal hits that level 5 here, when she gets her passive activated, when she gets that perma stealth, she's near impossible to deal with. Then in the meantime, we already have first blood on the barrel lane. We see the Fiora from Slim just getting that first money for Crimson Slayers.
I like it too, and that was also interesting as well, because I thought Easy Cop was actually roaming up to, he was there on the top side, like kind of marrying them, probably hoping for somewhat of a die, but just couldn't get there in time. We see Evelyn as well matching down their own Dragon Lane as well, looking to see what she can do for Crimson Slayers, but she's still just hidden. Nobody gonna see her, nothing gonna happen. She's just intimidating them.
Yeah, she is. She's already level 5, so she already has the stealth ready for it, but she can't do much in the Dragon Lane, but she's in mid.
Zac might be in trouble, though. Gets poked down a little bit. Those rope spikes are going to hurt. That's there too as well. And Fon, the ultimate comes out. A lot of damage into Shot Barrage. Will connect.
He got it.
Get the back. Easy Clap is there. One more auto should be able to do it. And Katarina will fall. Easy Clap might, though. Oh, Evelyn's not there. A 2 for nothing for Kismet.
Wow, what a great escape there from the Ezreal, from Zac. He just gets the kite back, he deals a lot of damage onto ProBlank, and then he's forced to retreat. He gets hit by the True Shot Barrage. Easy Clap is there to shadow, and the Cyclone is unforgiving. It's 2 quick kills for the side of Kismet. They were behind from the first blood that happened here on the top side, and Garen, let's face it, he's not having much fun into the Fiora here. He can't really do much. Even matching the ignites is not enough for the Garen right now, and Fiora is just having her way however she wants to. But it's good to see that the rest of the team is actually capitalizing on the pressure that the Wukong has been able to put in the rest of the map.
Yeah, considering how he has been pretty much just like just staying topside the entire time, but they've essentially just started to split up the map as they do the bottom side. Might be a little bit skirmish going on as Evelyn and all the Wukong already there, looking to fight over the dragon, which is going to be up in just another second. But right now, Crimson Slayers do have priority over it. We'd be interested to see if Kismet actually decides to fight, but I think they'll likely just give it up. As no,
he has a ward. As a ward, he might just go for the invade right there. Evelyn is completely isolated doing the blue, and they're going in.
They get knocked down to the call connect onto Evelyn to force them off the blue. They're able to take it, and Dragon is theirs.
Wow, they just get the quick Ocean Drake right after the blue buff, and ProBlank can't even go in. He's still threatening. Maybe with the charm, he's not seen, and now he is. Whiffle gets him. Ooh, yes, the flash.
With that. Unfortunate at the end too, but Zach going in as well onto it. CEO chunks it down to just under half, and I'm loving the spots where the Ezreal going into the Katarina, just considering how precious she's been in the meta as of late too. Just all you gotta do, easy, just outrange her. That's so 5-hit.
Yeah, it is. Like, usually you don't think about outranging Katarina, even in League PC, because she could just close the gap, whatever the gap is, because she's a Katarina, and she can't really do much about it. But the fact that Zach managed to abuse the matchup from very early on, it just shows that he's very skilled in this game in particular, and the Ezreal has just been really taking the plants out of the seeds that he planted earlier. He's doing very well in these regards. An easy clap goes for the Cyclone in the Dragon lane.
But the back, there's two separate fights going on in the bottom lane. Wukong fight against one, just solos down the Ezreal, and now Mike is in trouble as well. That's another 2 kills unanswered going over to Kismet at the end. But on the top side, though, if you're looking to fight on them, Travel lays down the ultimate, but no autos can be landed. But they'll get okay. Just like yeah, you're fine. You're okay. On your way, man.
Completely fine. Akevo and Weeful are just doing fine here in the top side. They got the lane swap going on, and Slim really tried to punish. She put the Grand Challenge down, but ProBlank can't even get close. The Evelyn did not get ahead in the early game, and now she's just struggling to get any picks, and it's just Kismet's game to win at this point. They're going for the Rift Herald. They are completely fine inside of it, but there is vision, and ProBlank is close.
Actually use the ultimate as you pop over the pit, but unfortunately it's met with so much opposition. I think it was aimed a little bit on the wrong side here. Evelyn gets taken down, and like you're mentioning, yeah, this really is just Kismet's game to win, 94.
Yeah, it is. Like, Crimson Slayers are trying. They aren't really achieving anything. ProBlank just doesn't have flash. He uses his ultimate to get into the pit. Doesn't get the smite off. Doesn't get literally anything off. He just dies right away. And Kismet are just getting away with murder right now. And Zach, he's proving who the better Ezreal is right now.
I mean, considering Ezreal mid was generally the play at the... consider, like, with way shaping up on the other end, because going back a bit to the point you're making about the Wukong as well, and with the Evelyn, right here, 94, considering ProBlank has not been able to have much presence, even after level 5, a lot of the ganks kind of just went unanswered, because you see Kismet's, they're winning so many 1v1s, where Evelyn is not even allowing a chance to get in, and with Easy Clap roaming around to actually help us 2v3s, it's just the goldie on itself, although it's only about 4k, it's no time has been taken as of yet, but as soon as they drop, I know things are going to get absolutely chaotic, as look at all those red dots bot side.
Oh, they're all preparing for the next Cloud Drake, and Whiffle just uses stand behind me. He's out of position.
Immediately knock up 2 unstoppable force at the back. Put them down under tower. He blocks so much damage. Too sharp on connect. Oh, the dagger, the final second will at least get the kill. So 1 for 1 so far. Too sharp Raj on the other end will just barely miss Dragon Knight. The Kivo might be a bit too far up. Evelyn is dangerous. She's loving, but she's tightly at the same time. Second to kill the back like an assassin. My God, is it ADC nonetheless? Just putting down Q's. Can he get one more to go dive in? And the Cyclone will pick up one at the end. Evelyn will die at the back to ProBlank. Oh no! ProBlank's dead! Corky wins 1v1. Kismet is so far ahead, it doesn't even matter.
How does this happen? Cable gets the 1v1 on the Evelyn, and very well done also by Zac and Easy Clap. They just get the dive off. They don't get the last kill because in Wild Rift, it's very hard to just target the target you want. The turret just gets in the way, and Zac cannot get the last auto attack out, but it's still a very favorable trade for Kismet, who are on their way to getting the second Drake of the match, and there's nothing Crimson Slayers are even being remotely able to do. Oh my god.
Oh, those missing shots hurt so much. So Asabo first used at the back to knock up onto 2, get your Fidget using his spots, and it doesn't even matter. There's so much CC. Mike Urch, he was a bit too ahead of his team at the other end, though. Slim with the Fear fight, probably becoming part of the fights, but she can only do so much. She can't challenge anybody as one by one. Crimson Slayers get absolutely popped and snapped and crackled. But there are no Rice Krispies on the field.
They're getting absolutely destroyed. It's not a pretty sight to see, but Kismet are also being very clinical with their playstyle. They really managed to snowball their lead from very early on, and Easy Clap is showing that you don't need to meta abuse to be the better jungler. So he's just doing a very, very good job of setting up team fights, at playing around his carries, and of course the Ezreal mid is paying off dividends as well. He's currently 2 levels above the enemy Ezreal, so his damage output is way bigger, and especially with the way the kills have been going, he has a lot of gold in his name. And Easy Clap
back knock up onto 3 as well. Yeah, he was a little bit far up, but like you mentioned, gets a little bit of damage. That just chip at the end. Dushar Barrage will ring true. Get so many low. Outside of Crimson Slayers, that's just forcing down all these towers. The final shot will connect, will get Mike not enough armor on his back pocket. Unfortunately, surprisingly so, Fiora a bit too far up. They will save them out for a little bit longer for now, though. But Creevo just shutting them down. The final Q able to connect. It's the Pro Blank as well, and now with 3 towers, down to Super Minions will start raining in. Now Crimson Slayers will have to pull off some sort of a miracle to possibly push this game back.
Yeah, it's so much damage, they can't even deal with it, and the range that Ezreal and Corki have together, they're already such a good combination. Wherever you put them in, mid or AD carry, it doesn't matter which one is which, it's just so good, it just simply works. It's just completely unavoidable for the team of the Crimson Slayers. They do not have the range to match it. They do not have the gold right now to match it either. The objectives are getting completely out of hand at this point, and now that the Baron Nashor is alive, that could just be the nail in the coffin that Kismet needs to really secure this match.
And before, I'm going to ask you to do something probably very taboo on stream, which is do math for me. As I'll hold off right now. He's just being chased down to all these rocks connected onto them. As Missile Barrage for Kivo is so deadly. As the 3rd tower, as the 6th tower, I should say, still will fall. On the side of Crimson Slayers, unfortunately, they can't even get close to them without taking so many chunks of damage. So going back to what I was saying before, what's a 30 minus 46?
Yeah, that's 16k. Actually, 1.6. Wait, yeah, 16k. No, never mind. Yeah, it's exactly 16k. It's a lot of gold and another kill. Wow, Mob is now unstoppable, and so is the rest of Kismet. They are just completely unstoppable as they reach for the inhibitor turrets at this point.
They could do just almost whatever they want. They're continuing, so they could take better. They could take these fights because it's 1v1s, 2v2, 3v3s, and when it comes down to the 5v5s, the Kismet just always has defense. Like you mentioned, just abusing the range with a double ADC. It is just absolutely indomitable when they're looking at the category. Oh, but I'll hold on a second at the back to knock stuff onto 2 as well. The back will see what Whiffle can do. The stacks will continue to land. They will all just slow down. It just cannot contest them at all. Crimson Kismet are just so far ahead. It doesn't matter about the engages that Crimson Slayers decide to do because the damage output is disgusting from them as it just get chunked down one after another.
Yeah, Cable wasn't even present in that team fight, and he just makes it late with the special package under its wing, and it's just like, hey guys, the party's over already. There's really nothing he needs to do. His team is just doing everything for him at this point. The inhibitor turrets are all still standing for Crimson Slayers, but it's only a matter of time until those super minions start coming in right after those turrets come down, and then, and only then, will the Crimson Slayers be completely helpless to deal with Kismet at this point, as the third Drake of the match is now being sought after by Kismet, and very, very soon they can start turning on that Baron side and start really taking advantage of the vision that they currently have. It's 4 completely different wards on that top side jungle, all inside of Kismet. They always know where the enemy team is, so they can collapse on them whenever they so desire.
If only if Mike and Alito could possibly get a double combination, right? They get the knock up onto at least 3. Carolina comes in, throws her daggers at everybody, and it's at that certain point that maybe you could possibly win the fight back, but they'd have to lock down the Ezreal and the Corki. But if just in this point of the game, it is looking a little bit doomed for one hand.
Yeah, because the only one that can actually try to lock down these carries, the Corki, the Ezreal, even a Wukong at this point, he's completely unstoppable when he dives in the backline. It's the Malphite, it's Mike, and he's just not able to find the unstoppable forces. He's just not able to find whatever it is in the enemy backlines, and that's just really, really hampering Crimson Slayer's chances. Oh, he's dead.
It just doesn't stop. So they're hiding in the bush for them. We must barely be taken out the other end. Second connects onto 3 at the back while they're all trying to run away. They're finding them in their bases under the tower. It's just so disgusting. It's continuing to force them down. They get off Baron to kill them once again, but the minions just aren't there for them, unfortunately. So now Crimson Slayers get to live for a little bit longer, but it's just a ticking clock, Andy4.
Yeah, Kismet are doing a good job at these fights, at the execution overall, but they're just not managing the waves as they should to win the game as fast as they can. So that's why they haven't ended yet. Oh, Slim is dead.
Yeah, and then one more was almost dead there as well. It's almost an ace, technically, a technically unofficial one, as they finally open up the inhib turrets at the other end. One more taking. I know, considering the way Kismet are playing, they're going to go.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I'm not two shot. Oh, sorry. Two shot doesn't get out to anybody, but just like that, his team was not ready for the engage. No matter how nice the knock up is, as they're knocking onto the Nexus, this game is all theirs. Kismet from beginning to end. 23-3, a disgusting goal lead, and a really strong showing for the first game of the day.
Wow, Kismet were so dominating from minute 1. They just had a very solid game plan. They executed upon it, and the Crimson Slayers never really had a chance to come back. They had really snowbally champion Kevlin like Katarina, and if those didn't really manage to make it through the early game, there's really nothing they could have done to win this game. So props to Kismet and for the way that they actually managed to dismantle the opposition, and now they just move on to the next phase.
And I think a lot of credit definitely goes to the Ezreal mid, which was shut down the Katarina and make sure that no mid priority was given over either. But everybody on the side of Kismet played absolutely out of their minds. 3 of them going deathless, which is the best part out of all of it, man. Amazing stuff, and I can't wait to see it more. And Crimson Slayers, GG's to y'all. Great games, and good luck going into the next.
Yeah, it's really that simple. The Crimson Slayers also, They really tried to pull through. Slim got first blood. Slim he really got the solo kill onto Mob, but it just wasn't enough. The Garen just scaled better with the tank items. Slim never really could show what he could do on the Fiora. He never isolated the enemy carries, and so that just ended up being a complete slaughter to the side of Kismet. And unfortunately for the Crimson Slayers, that's the end of their journey on this cup.
Yes, sir. Now, consider what we've seen so far is I do believe we have a couple of replays we'll be able to look at the game that we're seeing as of right now, but we have to hold off on a little bit as here we go. Oh, hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to us here. As we do so right up front at the beginning, we have the 2v1 fight here that'll be on your screens in just a couple of
slain. First turret destroyed.
even knowing that she's coming down, the barrier is activated, and the final crit just makes it so much better. And finally, of course, on that tower dive, Ezreal and Wu, they just get the other 2 kills, as we've seen during the game, and that snowballs Kismet's lead even further.
And that kind of reflection is just of how the game consistently kept going, right? You saw that at the beginning, it was a pretty slow-paced game as they allowed Kismet to essentially scale up. But on the side of Crimson, though, they kept trying to make proactive plays, but because they couldn't pop off early on, there was a lot of catching up they have to do. But at a certain point in time, the team fights were just played a lot better from Kismet, but only extended the goal lead further and further and further, which kept going into, as you do have a couple of replays to get to just show y'all the breakdown of this entire game. But for you, Anifar, a question for me is, what for you is really the breaking point where you saw the Kismet just had his game in the bag?
Well, it was probably the most around that mid counter gank that Easy Clap really managed to get onto the Evelyn. It was just the start of the downfall of the Crimson Slayers. It was just very interesting how the Ezreal managed to kite back on such a powerful assassin who finally reached that level 5, was trying to do their first proactive play on the map, and they just couldn't. The Ezreal was too safe of a mid laner to really make that happen. He was too healthy because he was punishing the Katarina from the first second of this game, and then the fact that the Wukong was just around to punish that gank and to really make that Evelyn not work really seemed like Kismet not only had their lesson way better studied, and the way that they approached that gank was just a part of that, but also it was just the point of no return, it seemed, for the Crimson Slayers, that just started falling time and time again and never really could get back up.
Speaking of engaged, I believe you also have another clip ready to go. Yeah, yet again, instead of moving over from bot side, we're going over the top side instead to see another engage here. Oh, I remember this. This was wild.
Yeah, this was basically the last hurrah for the Crimson Slayers. I was just saying that the Malphite had to engage. The Malphite engages, the Malphite dies, and nothing happens after that. Yeah, the True Shot Barrage does manage to get the Braum in the backline there, and Kavo doesn't even make it to this fight. He was very late to it, but it still doesn't matter because Kismet has all the cards that they need to make it through.
It's just that easy, and I do believe that we also do have our next match ready and announced as well. Not ready yet, but we will be seeing Kids Next Door versus Turbo in this one. Which you, Anifar, I don't know how old you are, fam. Side note from me, bro. Did you ever watch Codename Kids Next Door growing up?
I did. I remember it vaguely. I'm 21. I'm not old. I'm not young. I'm just there. But yeah, I remember it vaguely watching Codename Kids Next Door on Cartoon Network. Me not being from an English-speaking country, I didn't have many channels that actually had the Codename Kids Next Door broadcasting, but I do remember watching it very, very vaguely when I still didn't understand much of English, but it was cool. That's what I can remember of it. Well, that bald kid with the sunglasses and whatever.
Yeah, that was number one, bro. But want to know what else is cool? This third and final clip that we have for you, which is that post 15 game team fight, as brought to you by Replay Ops, Zach, everybody behind the scene. So we'll go and get that up for y'all in just a couple of seconds here. And this right here is where I'm like, bro, they're just doing the bear. Look at the backside, man.
Yeah, it's just 2 people doing Baron, and the rest are just like, okay, we win this 3v5. It really doesn't matter. We just get the Malphite before he can even breathe, and then you just barrel it down the Baron lane. They just dive the inhibitor turrets. Not a care in the world. Everyone almost dies. And eventually everyone does die, the Nexus does fall, and it does give Kismet the victory in this first round.
Really well done, as this genuinely impressive for them, right? And what you saw from the final team fight was they were just so far ahead. There was absolutely no opposition, which is what I believe like really makes this game so interesting, because like early game of this, considering games only go for 15-20 minutes, matters so much here. So you can kind of slow play it a little bit early on, but those key priority picks, I find you have to funnel into, like, especially in the first 5 minutes, or else the game might just completely go out of whack for you.
Yeah, and usually Wild Rift is called the League of Assassins. Assassins usually just run rampant, but there wasn't a single assassin in Kismet's team composition, and they still made it work so great. They had the team fight. They had the ranged carries that kept punishing every single mistake that Crimson Slayer was making in terms of positioning, and that was just beautiful to watch. I'm excited to see what Kismet can do in the rest of this cup.
With that being said, we'll cut it to a very short break. When we come back, we'll have our next game up and ready for y'all. Don't go nowhere.